is Caffeine and Coils, and I'm Deanna.
And I'm Jenny.
What's our hot topic today?
Okay, our hot topic today is what people think we do versus what we actually do. Okay. So, we're going to talk a little bit about what it's like to be a wholesale distributor in the HVAC industry.
Okay. I'm excited.
Right. So, let's jump in. Most people just think that we sell parts over the counter, parts and equipment over the counter, which, I mean, that they basically think we're just a cashier with gauges, that we just, hand things over and all that good stuff. Contractors walk in, grab something, swipe a card, and leave. That's not actually true. So we actually help people troubleshoot systems over the phone. Mm-hmm. A lot of times there's like vague descriptions. We actually kind of have to know like all the weird names that things have in the industry.
Oh, yeah, because not even just the weird nicknames, but people call things different names.
Yeah, and if, like, for a distributor that's like us in different regions, so if you go from North Georgia down to the Gulf Coast, North Alabama, there are regional differences of what things are called or how things are installed. Like, I think in North Alabama, they do some funky stuff with like line sets or something like that. I've been told a little bit about that, but and even like specific things, like there's coded units that are specific to the Gulf Coast and like making sure that they survive the salt water and all that stuff further south. So there's a lot of things that you kind of have to know. A lot of times we are not given like complete information to match parts and model numbers, or maybe they send a faceplate from, 1997 that it can't be made out through the picture. So some of it is like playing detective, trying to figure out. And I mean, a lot of times these guys on the counter they're not just supply house guys. They are, sometimes they're playing therapists, depending on how close they are with their customers. Detective, like I said, a lot of times they're forming deeper relationships than just, hey, I need this, we've got it, come get it kind of thing.
Yeah.
So people think that everything's in stock all the time. They think since we have all these huge warehouses, we have unlimited inventory, just go to the shelf, grab it, and go. And a lot of times the guys on the counter are juggling back orders, allocations, substitutions, part number updates, all that kind of stuff. They're tracking down what the supersede item is. As we know, regulations have changed, refrigerants have changed. We've gone through a lot of changes in the last 5 years, so there's been a lot of that. There's a lot to keep up with in that realm. They're explaining lead times and trying to apologize if things are going to be late or it's not available. And oftentimes they're trying to find a substitution. So if they don't have to have something OEM, they're trying to figure out what the aftermarket part might be that could substitute in place of that if we have something available on the shelf. So, yeah. You don't run out of it until everybody needs it all at the same time, right?
Yeah.
That's usually how it works. They think that we just give prices. You look up a number, look up the job, look up their account, give them a price. It's really not that true. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes pricing strategies, multipliers, price increases. I know we've all worn that term out over the last few especially this year with tariffs and different things going on in the economy that are just way outside of our control.
So when you say multipliers, is that like, buying more gets you a cheaper price kind of thing?
Yeah, it can be. So depending on the volume of what you purchase, a lot of times you'll get special pricing for that. A lot of that comes down to like what is set up with your TM. And what kind of negotiations have already taken place behind the scenes. There's a lot of things dependent on it. If it's on promotion, if preseason's happening, there's a lot of different things that can go along those lines. Also, it's a lot of times we're trying to win a job, so that can affect pricing and, what we can do on margins as far as what that looks like growing the relationship and different things like that. There's also a lot of stuff that goes on the back end that a lot of people don't know about. So vendor programs. Like, is the vendor holding a promotion? Do we have to meet certain freight terms? Do we get rebates? What's the relationship like with them? There's a lot of factors that go in. So there's a lot of behind the scenes numbers that you have to factor in to get the true margin on some stuff. Yeah, it's not just pricing; it's just chaos sometimes.
Yeah. There's a lot of moving parts.
There's a ton of moving parts. Yeah, I see what you did there. A lot of people think that we don't really need to know the technical side, which is in fact not true. And I know that you have a lot more experience on that than I do.
Do I?
I mean, just working as far as like on the tech services side, I think that's another thing that makes Mingledorff's a unique distributor, is that we have such an extensive group of people that have so much knowledge. And a lot of those people were in the field or have been doing this for, I mean, the majority of their career, if not their entire career. So they know the ins and outs, and they know, sometimes I think they know a little bit more about our stuff than our customers, just because that's what they do all day. They stay on the phone and hear about these weird and wonky problems that seem unsolvable.
Yeah, and we also, I don't know if this is really that unique to Mingledorff's, but we have so many people that have been here for so long. Like Harold Nelson of Tech Services, he's celebrating his 41st anniversary with the company.
Okay, that's longer than we've been alive. He's worked at Mingledorff's longer than we've been alive.
I know.
I'm sure he's like cringing listening to this episode. Shout out.
I'll be sure to let him. I'll send this episode to him.
Yeah, and I think not only that, I mean, there's more than there's a good handful of people in that department.
Right, yeah.
That literally have been doing this for that long. And so it's like they have seen probably every problem for the last 3 or 4 refrigerants and equipment regulation changes and all that stuff. So they really understand that. And they also do a really good job of communicating some of that stuff, especially the more common problems. They'll communicate that to our counter people and let them know, like, hey, if you have someone come in with this problem, this is the solution and this is why. And they kind of give them that product knowledge and help train them on what to look for and questions to ask to determine if that's the problem.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool.
They're very good troubleshooters.
Yeah, they can help size equipment, they can help with accessories, IEQ. We have all kinds of people in our on our roster, if you will, that are experts in these subject matters. Like Bob Pernis is our IEQ guy, and he can tell you everything you need to know about any indoor air quality problem, or make recommendations for if you're doing plan inspect jobs, if you're just, residential stuff, radon gas, anything that you need to know about that kind of stuff, he's the guy. And we have so many of those, the guys, if you will, that know so much about this stuff. So I think that's really cool. And I think a lot of people probably don't know that we have those people on staff that can help. And it's no charge to them.
Right. Also, like the training classes and stuff that we have.
Yeah, absolutely. And can you give us a plug on where we can find those?
Heatcool.com.
All right, go to heatcool.com if you need any training classes for any of the topics that we mentioned. And if it's not there, send us an email, podcast@mingledorffs.com, and we will do what we can to help you get the product information that you need and the knowledge.
Yeah, there's not only like a class schedule on there, but they also have like a knowledge base of different articles and things that they've put together and presentations that they've put together that you can review.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. All right, most people think it's an 8 to 5 job, that they, guys show up, turn on the lights, start the coffee, and close down at 5. In reality, that's not always true. I know that there's a lot of guys on the counter that accept early morning calls, late calls, if there's an emergency.
Yeah, we have emergency numbers.
We do. We have an emergency number, and a lot of times somebody from the store will come and open up and sell you the part you need if it is an absolute emergency and you need it on the weekends or after hours, that kind of stuff. there's no such thing as after hours when someone's unit is shut down.
Yeah.
So, especially if you're talking about a nursing home or hospital or something like that. So, it's not just an 8 to 5 job. I know a lot of the guys are in touch with their customers outside of those regular hours. A lot of people think that we just wait for orders. That's not true. We're building relationships constantly and helping our contractors grow their business. Training, promotions, problem solving, and follow-ups. I know we talked about training already. We do offer several promotions throughout the year. I know we've got one coming up on chemicals, so stay tuned for that one. We always have our spring and fall preseason, and then I usually sprinkle in a couple little extra promotions in the year just to give the guys something to look forward to, a little treat. But, yeah, I mean, there's a lot more that goes into it, and it's a lot more there's so much stuff on the back end, especially for promotions and preseason. I know Morgan does a great job helping out with preseason, too. There's a lot of reporting, a lot of extra. So, yeah, we try to make it more than just we try to give back to our customers. And it's not just waiting on orders, wait for them to come to us.
Yeah, we have a lot of extra things going on.
Yeah.
Is that everything?
Now I got a couple more. So, delivery. We do offer delivery.
Oh, yeah.
And people think it's easy. Delivery is so hard. Coordinating routes.
Yeah, the logistics.
Yes.
I think about that every time I get something delivered from anyone. I'm like, oh my God, I can't even imagine. Because, your Amazon app will tell you, like, it's 10 stops away.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some algorithm that, like, figures out all the logistics for them. I don't know. What type of... I think we have something that we use, don't we? I thought we did.
I'm not sure. I'm not the expert on this one.
Yeah, I don't remember.
So maybe we should
Might be a
get
trade
Philip
secret.
on and talk to him about that, because I think
Yeah, we should have him on for a safety episode.
We should, absolutely. Stay tuned. That's coming. But people do think it's easy. It's a lot of coordinating routes and like timing, especially if you guys are in the Atlanta market or Metro Atlanta. Atlanta is an hour away from Atlanta.
Right.
So oftentimes there's somebody in a truck super, super early to try to beat the traffic or, time things just right. Job site constraints. So some of these job sites don't open super early. Some of them open incredibly early. Some of them have certain entrances that you have to get in and out of. There's a lot of different things that have to be thought about, especially for delivery. There's a lot of times when somebody needs it now and they're 45 minutes away. So that makes it incredibly difficult. We can't time travel yet or can't teleport, so it's not an option.
That would be so cool if we could.
And we're also not perfect, so there's times that we make wrong deliveries or things are missing, or there's just job site chaos. Yeah. So we're doing the best we can. Delivery is not easy, but we do still offer it, and we're working on making it a better experience every single delivery we make. It's all equipment. People think that a lot of times, especially with us, people think a lot of times just about Carrier and Bryant. And we do. Carrier and Bryant we are proud to supply our customers with the best of the best, but we also offer more than just condensers. We have IQ, controls, accessories, parts, tools. We have everything you need for a one-stop shop. So we need, and it's a lot of work to coordinate, trying to figure out what the customers are buying, what they do need, what they want. And that's different region to region, so that makes it challenging.
Yeah.
But we are always looking and analyzing what our product mix is, and if we have the good, better, best for an option for everyone, if we're carrying the brands that our customers are wanting to buy. And we're trying to educate our customers, too, on different things that they're not used to selling. So sometimes people are not offering a lot of IQ options. Maybe we're educating them on, photocatalytic oxidation or ventilation or different things like that. There's always new products coming. I know we talked with Heidi about iFlow and, drain solutions to help that all keep moving. There's a lot of different products that are coming to market that we're trying to stay on top of, and that can be a challenge
new
too.
Innovations,
Yeah.
and all kinds of different things that we want to try to promote.
Yeah.
And
So
stay on top of.
Yeah, and we have people who are constantly looking at all that stuff and analyzing if it's a product that we need to add to the shelf.
Yeah.
Online.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a lot of what people think we do versus what we actually do, and a little bit more behind the scenes about what it's like to be an HVAC distributor.
Yeah, and I think, just to reiterate a little bit on the things that we offer at Mingledorff's, we have the business development group and, tech services, warranty helps out with all your warranty claims and that type of stuff. So, think of us more as a resource than just a supply house.
Absolutely. I know there's a lot of customers who have really been able to take advantage of so many different things, so many different. So and I mean, we've got marketing agencies ready to help. We have so much to offer. And I think it's so important, especially if you're a new contractor, you're trying to get your business off the ground. We are so ready to help and willing to help. And
we have so many people that have just been in the industry for so long. And if we don't know it or offer it, we probably know someone that does. And we're willing to reach out and help for you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so for our ender today, I have a little this or that summer edition for you. Okay. Because this will be coming out in May.
Okay, and summer is my favorite season.
Okay. Good. I figured that, actually. You're always talking about the pool. Okay. Popsicle or ice cream?
Ice cream, 100%.
Wait. Okay, this is off the cuff. Ice cream or custard?
I am going to say ice cream. I don't know. I don't know that I have enough, experience with... I really like gelato, too.
Oh,
but, okay, so if you look in my Instagram bio, it literally says recovering ice cream addict.
Oh.
When I was in college, my first year of college, the freshman 15 was real. And that was because there was a corner store with ice cream, and you could go and get 3 scoops of ice cream for $1.50. And I was addicted to that ice cream. So that there's some truth to that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of torn between ice cream and custard because I love a Culver's custard, but...
See, I never go there. I think Culver's, just their food is gross, so I can't... It's just weirdly greasy, and there's just something about it that just gives me the ick.
You need to live a little.
Just gives me the ick. I can't do it.
Stop eating rabbit food, okay?
I don't eat just rabbit food. I do eat junk, too, sometimes, but just not Culver's junk.
All right, pool day or beach day?
Ooh, both. I can't pick. Okay, if I'm at the beach, I'm definitely going to the pool before I go back inside. Is that weird? Is that normal?
I don't know. I like the pool better because I don't like the sand.
Oh, no. I love the beach. I do. Okay, definitely the beach.
Okay.
I'd have to pick the beach.
Camping or glamping?
Definitely glamping. We had a motorhome growing up, and you're not getting me in a tent. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not fun anymore.
It's
fun when you're a kid.
You can't sleep on the ground.
When you're a kid and your parents set up everything and you're not sore for 3 days from sleeping on a rock.
That's my biggest complaint is I need a bed to sleep in. Yeah. And I don't want to just pee on the ground. I need a toilet. I can't help it.
Backyard barbecue or restaurant patio?
Restaurant
outdoor.
patio. Oh my gosh, that's
Sprinkler or slip and slide?
Gross.
What?
Neither.
You don't let Jensen run through the sprinkler?
Okay, if I don't have to do it, I want the kids the slip and slide's way more fun. But I just don't want to get the wet grass stuck to me and
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Lake day or ocean day?
Okay, this is a really hard one because I love going on the boat on the lake. Definitely the lake. Definitely the lake.
But the lake is so, you can't see through the water,
Yeah.
and you don't know what's in there.
You're
Especially
right.
if you're on Lake Lanier.
You're right, which we are. But I still love the lake. I don't know.
You just don't think about it?
I just
Do
don't
you get
think
in the
about
water?
it. Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, okay. Lemonade or iced tea?
Iced tea. I don't like lemon anything. I don't like lemon desserts. I don't like lemon in my tea. I'm not a lemon person.
That's surprising. I figured you'd like the freshness of like.
No, I can't do it. And so, and I like sweet tea, like not like syrup, not like McDonald's syrup tea, but like I want to be able to taste the sweetness. So my dad was from Ohio, and he used to tell me, he drank unsweet tea. He used to tell me, just swirl your finger around in the tea and it'll be sweet enough. That's what he used to tell me. I'm like, no, Daddy, that is not sweet tea. I was born and raised here in Georgia, so I need some sugar in that tea.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like, we talk about regional differences with our industry, but also there's so many regional differences just like culturally.
Yeah.
Like, you can go to places and they're like, we don't have, what a sweet tea, what are you talking about?
Oh, yeah.
When I lived in Oklahoma, they were like, boiled peanuts. Are you okay? Did you have a stroke? But
that's hilarious.
my last one is sandals / flip-flops, or like walking around barefoot in your yard.
Just in my yard?
Yeah.
Ooh, I love to be barefoot in my yard.
Oh, okay. There was this guy that I went to college with that was always barefoot.
They say it's like really good for your immune
yeah,
system.
He said it is like,
stuff
I don't
that.
know. He carried like flip flops with him if he went somewhere and they like insisted that he put his shoes on, but he would always walk around barefoot. And the grossest part about where I met him was my ceramics class. And if you've ever taken any kind of ceramics class, there's clay dust like all over the floor all the time. So his feet were always so
covered.
disgusting.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I definitely.
I wonder if he still does that. I'm gonna have to do some investigation after this.
Well, you just reach out and say, "Hey, he's still barefoot."
Hey, do you still do that weird thing that you're doing in college?
That's hilarious. No, they talk about the benefits of it though. I have heard, especially I'm like hung up in the baby algorithm with someone who has a 10-month-old. They talk about how their feet need to be uncovered more. We cover up their feet all the time thinking that their feet are cold and all that stuff. But developmentally, it's better for their feet to be uncovered. They use their toes to like grip and stuff. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times the baby shoes really aren't that good for them. They talk about letting them be barefoot outside because it's better for their immune system. And Gatlin always says some silly stuff about grounding and like letting them have their bare feet on the ground and different stuff like that. So I think developmentally there's probably some truth to that, a lot of truth to that. I don't know sanitary wise how good it is. We're a shoes off kind of house though because he crawls around on the floor.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I will put shoes on right now because they like lick the floor. Like you want it to be as clean as possible. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's also those barefoot shoes. They're supposed to be better for your foot health because regular shoes, they don't allow like your toes to splay out it like they need to. Mm-hmm. And like the support inside a shoe is actually not good for you. All that kind of stuff. So, it's kind of interesting.
I believe that.
Mm-hmm. You too. All right, that's all I have. Well, thanks for telling us all about that today.
Absolutely.
That's all we have for today. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe.